Pugmeat is a great mod that I'm 100% sure is going to be on the front page of the Fallout Nexus within days, if not hours. This is by SkyrimForDaWin. Now, this is just a small mod that changes dog meat into a pug. Black is also available as an optional file. It also includes the download section is an ESP that will make dog meat 50% smaller and change his sound profile to be quieter. The ESP file is completely optional, by the way. Just so you know, if you do download this and you aren't using dog meat as a companion and you built him a house and you use the ESP to make him 50% smaller, more like a pug. Now, if you pick him up as a companion and he's inside the doghouse, when he walks out of the doghouse, he will then morph back to dog meat size, so it's like a giant pug. So remember to have dog meat with you first before you put on this mod, or else you'll have to deal with that little annoyance. Unless you want like a giant pug, that's totally cool too. Another cool thing about this mod is if you're using any sort of armors with dog meat, they will shrink with pug meat. I think it's better to call him pug meat. It is a hilarious mod. It's actually very cute. He's also anatomically correct, so if you don't want to see dog dick and balls, I don't know what to tell you. And that is about it. This is probably one of the funniest mods in Fallout I have used thus far, and it's still cute as all hell. The attention to detail is fantastic. I even love the teeth. They look great in there. I think there might be like one little mistake, or maybe it's there on purpose to give him like a little snaggle tooth at the side, only adding to the authenticity of a pug. So if you are a Fallout lover and a pug lover, this is definitely for you. Or if you love Fallout and you just happen to have a pug and you want your little buddy on your adventures with you, then this is a hilarious mod to just go download. Do it now. Working Vending Machines by borjoyzee. This adds working Nuka-Cola, Vim Pop, and cigarette machines to the workspace menu, from which you can buy all the respective items, all paid for with pre-war money. They take more mats to construct than other decoration ones. And the fusion core to keep the drink machines powered. The cigarette machine doesn't need power. Nuka-Cola, Cherry Quantum, and other ice-cold versions bought from the Nuka-Cola machine, Vim Pop, Vim Quartz, Vim Refresh, Vim Captain's Blend, and their ice-cold version brought from the Vim machine. And the cigarette machine, all the packs of cigarettes and cigars can be bought. Use pre-war money to purchase. If you don't have enough or any in your inventory, they won't show. Nuka-Cola cost 10 pre-war money, Cherry cost 20, Quantum cost 25. Prices for Vim are similar. And the cigars, the prices adjust to match because they wouldn't take bottle caps back then. Plus, the mod author wanted to have the use of them. Having said all this, there is a cheaper option version available. The working versions appear right after the decorative versions. Each one produces one happiness, uses assets from Far Harbor, goes without saying, and it needs Far Harbor DLC to work. Overall, I think this is a great mod. It is quite interesting too, and it gives you more of a use for pre-war money versus using it to create sleeping bags. I think it's pretty legit. I also think it's fairly immersive, considering you're already in this world and let's say you're rebuilding society in hell. You know, I'm pretty sure it's easier to get pre-war money than bottle caps in Fallout 4. So I could totally see the Vault Dweller deciding to take these working machines back to the settlements and plugging them back in and having people use them. I don't know, just my personal opinion, and I find it to be an interesting mod worthy of a download if you're trying to just push your immersion in settlements a little further. Craftable Turret Stands by Daedragon. This lets you craft wooden turret stands, like the ones found in the Covenant. They are located under structures, woods, and floors. They snap to walls and to each other. It only costs 4 wood and 1 steel. There's not a lot else to say, according to the mod author. And that is very much true, because it is very straightforward, this mod. This mod is a perfect representation of why modding is fantastic. For the simple fact that Bethesda had this asset there and didn't give it to the player at their disposal, which is confusing. But thankfully for modders like Daedragon, they make it available to us in our base building. Just so necessary. It's probably one of the best crafting base building mods out there, in my opinion, without a shadow of a doubt. Sometimes the greatest things are just so simple. And this is a perfect example of that. I'm looking at this, I'm using it. This is a mod I will use for the rest of my playtime in Fallout 4. Whenever I'm base building now, there will be these turret stands. They are multifunctional, and it is a fantastic way to have a great level of defense outside of your base without having to lay your turrets down on the ground. Now they're higher up, they have a better vantage point, better view distance. It's fantastic. It's just simply brilliant. I strongly suggest that if you are into base building, this is a no-brainer for you. The level of just sheer destruction and mayhem you could create with this one mod alone. You could build an entire tower of guns and rockets. Just no way raiders would ever get in again.
Not according to Bethesda's programming.
Better Cooking Stations by Steve 40. This mod overhauls the cooking station and adds better features and adds several new cooking stations as well. You will find them under crafting workstations. They have better cooking stations appeared to their name for easier identification. All craftable cooking stations can be toggled to private or public. All cooking stations can be toggled private or public to prevent NPCs from using them, so you can reserve them exclusively for you and your followers. This also helps to prevent settlers from sandboxing into your player homes and using your stations. All cooking stations have built-in working fire with sound, smoke, heat shimmering, embers, sparks, and flickering lights in the shadows. There is just so much I could read to you verbatim, but it would soak up a great deal of time. But there's so much here. I strongly recommend downloading this and checking it out yourself. There is so much here. There's a great deal of work and effort that has been put into this. By the way, this mod is also available on Xbox One. So if you're on consoles, I would download this immediately. It is highly immersive. I mean, the second I looked at it, I said, yes, this is a great cooking mod. The swinging of the pot, everything is like, it's just so much better than vanilla that it's surprising. It's staggering, really. Like, as soon as you look at it, it just catches your eye and makes you well aware of the level of love and attention that was put into this mod. There must have been countless hours spent toiling away to just add to the levels of immersion, to just give the cooking station more life, and to give you more of a reason to interact with it, bother with it, or even give two farts about it. Because frankly, I never bothered with cooking stations until now. I was actually motivated to try and make stuff simply because of this mod. And that is the beauty of mods. Often while playing Fallout 4 and base building, I thought to myself numerous times, again and again, why are there only 2 types of guard posts? No matter how you built your base, no matter what you did, you had 2 options. 2 Paisley options, and every time DLC came out or an update, there was never any more added. And I lamented. I threw cat shit at a picture of Todd Howard on my wall, and I screamed, "You did this to me, Todd. You made me do this." But all jokes aside, Sandbag Fortification by Nutulator and Ethreon is a fantastic addition to Fallout, and in fact, it is so welcome by me personally. As soon as I saw this, I downloaded it. I downloaded it so fast I broke the left clicker on my mouse. This adds military fortifications to your Fallout game. Now, it makes perfect sense, especially if you played the male character for Fallout, that he would probably use some of the tactics he learned in the services, especially while base building and fortifying himself and his settlers against the raiders. There is a multitude of options to choose from here. Each one realistic, each one fantastic, each one immersive. There is so much here that I didn't even touch on it all in the video that I did do of this, which is sad, really. I merely scratched the surface, but you will not have that problem. There is so much you can do here. You can build fortifications with the blockings, you can build a sandbag wall, you can take the netting and hide your turrets under them. It's just like, you could even build a ladder and have people stand on top of the fortifications. I didn't even know that was also a feature. That's how little I know about military fortifications. I am not a soldier, I just play one in video games. This right here is without a doubt one of the best Fallout mods to come out. I know I say that a lot, but this is one of the best defense Fallout mods to come out. This video has been full of so many great immersive mods for base building. I can't even stress it to you enough. And this one is another one that I will continue to use as long as I play Fallout. Fan-fucking-tastic with a capital F. I am so glad that this mod was made. It makes me actually want to rebuild some of my settlements to accommodate these features in Fortifications. It's great. And if you are using the extra stuff that Bethesda threw in later on in the game where you shoot a sandbag and sand pours out of it, talk about just fun little immersion that'll tickle your fancy endlessly as I try not to curse, even though it is very hard for me. I recommend this mod wholeheartedly, especially if you're base building, and you have all your settlers dressed like soldiers. Just do it up and click the button. Endorse, endorse, endorse. This is getting a vote from me actually right now. You're getting a vote, sir. You take that vote. Last but not least is the Patriot by Radiate. And the description reads as, this is a lore-friendly retexture of the Rebel Backpack, the Commonwealth's greatest champions. I present to you, drumroll, the Patriot Retex. Now, you do need the Mercenary pack to make this work, and it retextures the Rebel Backpack to use the Patriots logo on top of the Punisher's logo. What really brought me to this was the Punisher logo, and then I noticed like, oh wait, that's the Patriots sign in there. And then I had to Google, you know, to see what the number 12 was about. It's Tom Brady. So, you know, Gundam, you don't care about football? No, football's just a game. For me, you want to sport motorcycle racing. If you can't die doing it, it's a game. I don't like games. I like to know I'm putting my worthless life on the line. I'm sorry. It's too much about me. But for real though, this is an awesome retexture. I'm quite impressed with it. The color palette is great in my personal opinion. Good old-fashioned red, white, and blue. Can't argue with that. I do like the Punisher logo, and I think the placement of the Patriots logo fits pretty well on it. So if you're a Patriots fan, you cared about the Super Bowl, you love Tom Brady and the Punisher, bam, you need to download this. And I figured there needs to be some sort of spot to show off smaller mods that people might not see and they might miss, and this is definitely one of them. Now that's gonna do it for me. As always, if you feel the need to, rate, comment, subscribe. If you don't, fuck it. I can't ask you to give more of a fuck than me. And I will see you next time. Adios, bichachos.